I'm Will Masters from the Friedman School of Nutrition at Tufts. Most of all, I want to thank the students for putting together this nomination, for showcasing this kind of work. This specific course is Economics for Food and Nutrition Policy. It's a graduate course in the School of Nutrition. We're reaching people who have often avoided economics in the past and need a good on-ramp to it. A lot of students also have seen a bunch of economics but not applied to food and nutrition. Lesson number one for me from the big literature on learning outcomes is this. I need to be able to talk really directly to students. We are famously distracting each other as well as individuals, and we need to be able to focus in the classroom environment. I make the slides as rich and detailed as possible, and we record them using Echo 360 so that they can watch if need be, because again, the classroom experience is not to remember the facts, but to connect the dots and make sense of the story. I also teach this class online. For that, we chunk down the lecture into smaller pre-recorded bits, and I also do some over-the-shoulder recordings just with an iPad, because in economics, we need to draw these diagrams. We're drawing the social interactions through supply and demand curves and other analytical diagrams. I've introduced this year for the first time the Poll Everywhere app to give us instant feedback in the classroom about understanding. Here, where the students on their phones tap on the part of the diagram that's what I'm asking them about at that time. And the key goal from these instant pollings is that students are making mistakes, and that's really essential, both to validate mistakes so that everyone feels it's okay to be making mistakes, and also to learn from each other in the classroom. I also do a lot of technology in the homeworks. So I start with a set of news analyses in which the students are searching for news stories that are examples of a certain kind of analytical process that they then can diagram in class. And we also follow that with a lot of data analysis exercises to visualize the data and make sense of what initially students experience as just a wall of numbers, and then it becomes a visual story. I really emphasize lots of interaction in the class, so I use tech for the purpose of interaction. I keep a class blog, I keep a pretty active Twitter feed, and I also do webcasts of individual one-to-one conversations and review sessions. And finally, a lot of feedback. So Qualtrics allows us to do fairly frequent surveys. It is incredibly important. I tweak the class every year, partly because each class has different students who teach me something about how it is for them to learn, and also because each cohort is really different. Students now have very different skills than maybe 5 years ago. So with that kind of use of tech, I end up with what I hope is a pretty good balance and a way that we can have very intimate personal conversations in class, but an environment that really allows students to make the most of the data and the tools that are around us.